Very good afternoon. My name is Manoj Kumar, working as an assistant professor in Department of Computer Science and Engineering, Ajay Kumar Garg, Engineering College, Ghaziabad. Today, in this video lecture, we will learn about the linked list and different types of linked list and insertion in single linked list. This is the table of content that I will cover in this video lecture. At first, we will see the linked list overview. Then advantage of linked list, what are the advantage of linked list over the array, and what are different types of linked list and insertion in single linked list. So let's start with the introductions of the linked list overview. Actually, linked list is a collection of data element called nodes, in which linear representation is given by the link from one node the next node. It means in order to store the data in linked list, it is stored in form of node, and basically node has two parts. First one is the data field and second one is the next field. So in case of linked list, data is stored in form of node, and node has two parts. First one is the data field and second one is the address field. A linked list, in simple way, it is a linear collection of data elements. These elements are called the nodes. We can see linked list in which every node contains two parts, an integer and a pointer to the next node. It means this is the data field which contains the value to be stored in the node, and this is this part is a address field which contain the address of the next node in the linked list. So this is a pointer type of variable which store the address of the next node. So this is the basic diagram of the linked list. This linked list basically contains 7 node: node 1, node 2, node 3, node 4, node 5, node 6 and node 7, and each node is connected with other. It means the first node is linked with the node 2, node 1 is linked with node 2. So this is the data field and this is the address field. So in the address field of the node 1, there will be the address of node 2. In the same way, the address field of node 2 will contain the address of node 3, and address field of node 3 will contain the address of node 4. Okay, and since 7 is the last node of the linked list, so in the address field of the last node there will be null. It means here cross is represented as null. Here it represents that this is the last node of the linked list. After this there is no node. So in the last node, address field always contain the null. Null is basically represented as either cross, or we can simply use we can write as null, or sometime the -1 is also used to represent the null. But in case of pictorial representation of the linked list, we mostly use the cross symbol instead of null or -1. And one more thing is there is another a start variable, or sometime it is also known as the head variable. This is a pointer variable which contains the address of the first node. It means basically it represents the from where linked list is going to start. So start variable or head variable always contain the address of the first node, and the last node of the linked list, in the address field of the last node of the linked list there will be null, because after there is no node. So linked list is a collection of node in which each node has two parts. This first part is the field, data field, and second field is the address field. Okay, data field contain the value stored in the node, and address field contain the address of the next node in the linked list. And the in the address part of the last node of the linked list, it will store null, because after that there is no node. And start is another pointer variable which contain the address of the first node of the linked list. Okay. Next, the advantage of the linked list. Linked list, the main advantage of the linked list is that linked list doesn't store the data or nodes in consecutive memory location, as this is the limitation of array. Because in array, if we want to store the data, then array elements should be stored in consecutive memory location. If the memory is not available in consecutive manner, then we cannot use array in that case. So in order to use the memory space efficiently, if it is not also available in contiguous manner, then we can store the data element using the linked list. Okay, so and second advantage of linked list is that insertion and deletion is linked list is more efficient as compared to array, because linked list is a dynamic data structure. It can grow and shrink. Depending upon data, making more powerful, flexible than array. Okay, so whenever we want to insert a new element, then we can create a new node and simply insert it in the linked list. In the same way, whenever we want to remove a particular element, then we can simply delete the node from linked list. Because when we perform the insertion and deletion in case of array, then we need to perform at first shift operation. In case of insertion and deletion in array, we require the shift operation, whereas in case of linked list there is no need of shift operation. We simply delete the node or we simply add the new node. So that is why insertion and deletion is more efficient in linked list as compared to array. Another advantage of linked list is that it can be used to implement other data structure like stack. Stack can also be implemented with the help of linked list. Queue can also be implemented with the help of linked list. Circular queue can also be implemented with the help of linked list. Tree can also be implemented with the help of linked list. So these are some advantages of the linked list. Type of linked list. Basically, linked list is of three types. First one is the singly linked list. Singly linked list is also known as the simple linked list. Second one is the doubly linked list. Third one is the circular linked list. So these are the three basic types of the linked list. Why combining the doubly linked list and circular linked list, we can make another type of linked list, and that is known as the circular doubly linked list. But basically there are only three types of linked list: singly linked list, doubly linked list, and circular linked list. And by combining the concept of circular linked list and doubly linked list, we can make a new type of linked list, and that type of linked list is known as the circular linked list. Let us see the introduction of each type of linked list one by one. Singly linked list. So by default, if we are not going to use any term, we are saying simple linked list. So simple linked list, by default it is considered as the singly linked list. So singly linked list is the simplest type of linked list in which every node contains some data and a pointer to the next node of the same data type. For example, this is the diagram of a single linked list. In case of single linked list, every node has two fields. First field is the data field, second field is the address field. Okay, and data field contains the value stored in the node, address field contains the address of next node in the linked list. As I discussed that node 1 contains the address of node 2, and address field of node 2 will contain the address of node 3, and address field of node 3 will contain the address of node 4. In the same way, okay, since this is the last node of the linked list, so address field of the last node, this is the last node, so address field of the last node will contain null. It means after this there is no node in the linked list. Again, start is a pointer variable, or sometimes it is also known as the head. It will contain the address of the first node, or it will refer to the first node. In sometime we don't represent it separately, we simply write here start or head. This is another representation. Okay, so but it start or head will refer to the first node of the linked list. Okay, linked list always contain a pointer variable start, which show the address of the first node of the linked list, and in the address field of the last node there is null. Next one is the doubly linked list. What happen in case of doubly linked list? In case of doubly linked, actually the basic limitation of single linked list is that in single linked list we can traverse only in one direction from start to end. We cannot traverse in the reverse direction. It means we cannot move from last to beginning. But in case of doubly linked list, we can traverse in both direction. We can traverse from first node to last node and from last node to first node. So this is the main difference between the single link and the doubly linked list. Doubly linked list is a two-way linked list, is more complex type of linked list which contains a pointer to the next node as well as the previous node in the sequence. It means in case of doubly linked list, node will also be there, but here the node will contain three parts. First part is known as the previous field. This part is known as previous. And second part, this part is known as the data field, and this part is known as the next. Okay, so previous field of a particular node basically contain the address of its previous node. In the same way, the next field of a particular node will contain the address of the next node in the linked list, and data field is used to store the data value of the node. So in case of doubly linked list, each node has three field or three part. The previous is a pointer which contain the address of the previous node in the linked list. In the same way, next field is again a pointer which contain the address of the next node in the linked list, and the another third field is the data field which is used to store the data value. Again, since start is a pointer variable which contain the address of the first node of the linked list from where the linked list is going to start, and since this is the last node of the linked list, so in the next field of the last node, this is the last node. Okay, so in the next field of the last node there will be null, and in the same way, since this is the first node of the linked list, doubly linked list, so in the previous field of the first node there will be null, because before this there is no node in the linked list. Linked list is start from here. So in case of doubly linked list, the previous field of the first node contain null, and the next field of the last node will contain null. Okay, so this is the concept of the doubly linked list. Next one is the circular linked list. Circular linked list is same as the simple linked list or single linked list, but there is a basic difference between the single linked list and doubly linked list. In case of circular linked list, the last node of linked list is connected to the first node. This is the last node, and this is the first node. Okay, so last node is connected to the first node. It means the address field of the last node will contain the address of first node of the linked list. So it make a circle. Okay, so that is why this is known as the circular linked list. Again, start is a pointer variable which store the address of the first node. So in case of circular linked list, the last node is connected to the first node of the linked list. That is why this is known as the circular linked list. So let's start with the introduction of the insertion in single linked list. In a single linked list, we have to insert a new data item, or we have to add a new node. Then there may be basically three cases. First is we want to insert the new node at the beginning. Case 2, we want to insert new node at the end of the linked list. And case 3, we want to insert the new node after a given node. So there are three cases for the insertion in single linked list. So let us start with the first case. Case 1, insertion in the beginning of the single linked list. So if we are going to insert a new node in the beginning of the linked list or single linked list, then the step that we need to follow are, at first we create a new node. In the next slide, we will also discuss the pseudocode, which pseudocode is used to create a new node. So at first we create a new node. After that, after creation of new node, we allocate the memory and to the newly created node. And in order to allocate the memory to newly created node, we will use the malloc function. And after that, step 3, we will assign the data field value of the new node. Since a node basically particular of single linked list contain two field, data field and address field. So at first we will assign the value of the data field. Step 3. In next step, we will check whether the linked list is empty or not. It means if the linked list is empty, then the node we are going to insert in the linked list, that will be the first node. Okay, in that case, we will set the null in the address field of that particular node. If the initially linked list is empty, or we are going to insert the first node of the linked list, only for that case this is valid. Okay. But if there are already some node present in the linked list, and now we are going to insert in the beginning, in that case, if linked list is not empty, then set the address field of the first node in the address field of the new node. And after that, since when we this is the case of inserting the new node in the beginning of the linked list, so when the created node will be added in or inserted in the beginning, then we have to change the reference of start variable, because start variable also always contain the address of the first node. So now the newly created node will be the first node, so we have to initialize the start with new node. Okay. This is the pictorial representation of the insertion at the beginning or at the start of the linked list. Okay. Suppose this is the given linked list. we have a linked list which contain basically these same node. Now we want to insert a new node. We want to insert this node in the beginning of this linked list. Okay, so initially start is this, and this is the new node that we are going to insert in the beginning of the linked list. Okay, so what we can do here, since we have to add this node in the beginning of the linked list, so this is the address field of the linked list. So in the address field of the linked list, we will set the start. It means start refer to the this node. So when we will add new node, then this node will become the second node. So in the next field or in the address field of the new node, we will set the address of this. So here we will simply write the syntax new node next is equal to start. Now when this node will be added in the beginning of the linked list, then this will become the first node. So we have to change the reference of start. Now this node will become the second node. So we have to initialize start as new node. This is the pseudo code to insert the new node in the beginning of the single linked list. Okay, this is the value. This value is basically used to initialize the data field of the linked list. Here we are creating a new node. This syntax is used to create a new node. At first, what we are doing here, we are simply defining a structure for node. Struct node. Then we are taking a data member, integer type data, and after that we are taking struct node asterisk next. This is the syntax of for the structure of a particular node. It means we are going to create a node that consists of two parts. First part is the data, and second part is the next field, which contains the which is a pointer of node type structure. Okay, which contain the address of the next node. So at first we will define the structure of a node. After that we will create the new node. Okay, then this is syntax is basically used to allocate the memory to the newly created node. We are using here malloc function. Okay, after that enter the value of to be stored in the new node. We are taking the input from the user. Okay, next, now in order to assign the value to the data field, this arrow operator is used. Okay, so new node arrow data is equal to value. So whatever value we will enter here that value will be assigned to this node. Suppose we have entered 11, then 11 will be assigned to the data field in the new node, and new node next is equal to null. Initially suppose linked list is empty. If the linked list is empty, then this node that we are going to insert will be the first node. Okay, so this will set be null, but this will be applicable only for the case when the node to be inserted is the first node of the linked list. If the node is not to the first node of the linked list, then there is no need to set null. We will deal it later. Okay, if start is equal to null, it means linked list is empty. Then what happen? The node that we are going to insert, that will be the first node. So initially start is what? Start is a pointer variable which contain the address of the first node of the linked list. So if there is nothing in the start, it means there is no address in the start, then what does it mean? It means that linked list is empty. So if this condition is true, then linked list is empty, and since the node we are going to insert, that will be the first node. So when the first node will be added to the linked list, in that case we have to initialize the start with new node. Now there is now start will contain the address of new node. If else, it means if there are linked list is not empty, there are some node in the linked list. Suppose we have this linked list, this is 11 and this is the first node and this is the start. Okay, now we have to add a new node 12 at the beginning of the linked list. So what we will do, we will store the address of new node. It means this is our new node. In that case, this is the next field, this is the data field, and this is next field. So what we will new node arrow next is equal to start. Okay, because we are going to insert this node in the beginning of the linked list. So this node will be added before the before this node. So next field of this node will contain the address of this node, and since this node is represented as start referred to this node, so that's why we have said here new node next is equal to start. Now after adding this node, this will be the first node of linked list, this will be the second of linked list. Now we have to change the reference of start to this. Now start will refer to this. Okay, so this is the pseudocode that we will use to insert a new node in the beginning of the singly linked list. Okay, next, second case is insertion at the end of the linked list. Suppose the node that we are going to create, and we have to add that particular node in the last or in the end of the linked list. Then what step we have to follow? Again, at first we will create a new node to be inserted. After that, step 2, we will allocate the memory to newly created node and assign the data field value to the newly created node and set the null in the address field of the new node. This is important to note here, because the new node that we are going to insert in the end of the linked list, that will be added in the last. So it means we can set the address field of that particular node as null, because that is going to be the last node of the linked list. So in case of this scenario, whenever we are going to insert a new node in the last of the linked list, we can assign the data value or field value, and we can also set null in the address field initially. Okay, after that, we will, in step 4, we will check that linked list is empty or not. If linked list is empty, then the node that we are going to insert, that will be the first node or the last node. And if the linked list is not empty, in that case what happen, we have to add the new node at the end of the linked list. So at first we have to reach at the last of the linked list. So in order to add a new node in the end of the linked list, at first we have to traverse the complete linked list from first node to the last node, because since linked list is a sequential data structure, in linked list we cannot directly access to any node. Okay, so if we have to reach at the end of the linked list, so for that purpose, at first we have to traverse the linked list from first node to last node. Okay, this is the pictorial representation of the process for inserting the new node at the end of the linked list. Suppose we have a linked list. This is the given linked list. This linked list has 7 nodes, and we are going to insert this node as in the end of the linked list. So this is the new node. This is the new node or node to be inserted in the end of the linked list. So at first we create the new node, we assign the data, we allocate the memory to newly created node. After that, we assign the data field value to it, and since this is the last node, or we are going to insert in the end of the linked list, so we can set the address field as the null. Okay, so at first we create a new node, second we allocate the memory to newly created node, and after that we assign the data value to data field of this particular node, and we set null, because this node is going to insert in the end of the linked list. So we can initially set the address field of this node as null. Now again, so in order we have to add this node in the last. It means after this node we have to add this new node. So what we will do for this? At first we have to traverse the linked list in order to reach in the end of the linked list. So for traversing purpose, we will create another pointer variable PTR. Name can be anything. It may be the temp variable, it may be the PTR variable. Okay, and we will create, at first we declare a pointer variable PTR. We initialize the PTR variable with start. It means initially we are taking a pointer variable PTR and initialize with it start. It means initially the PTR refer to the first node of the linked list. Now we will move to PTR in order to reach till the end of the linked list. We will move it to the last of the linked list. So whenever the PTR will refer to this node, the last node, it means now we are in this situation to add the new node at the end of the linked list. So in order to add this new node at the end of this linked list, what we will do, we have to change the address field of this, since currently this is the last node of the linked list and the address field of this node contains null, but we are going to add this. So we will change the address field of this node, ptr next is equal to new node. So by doing this, new node will be inserted in the end of the linked list. This is the basic syntax. Again, creating a new node, declaring a pointer ptr, again memory is allocated to node, assign the data field value. Here the value is passing through the function parameter, okay, and set the null in the next field. Again ptr is set as is initialized with the start, and this is the loop. In order to traverse the linked list, we have to reach at the end of the linked list. So while ptr next is equal to node is equal to null, till that what we will do, ptr is equal to ptr next. It means we by using this syntax we are moving the ptr to the next node in order to reach the last of the linked list. And in the last, what we will do, ptr next is equal to new node. Add this ptr next is equal to new node to add the new node, newly created node in the end of the linked list. This is the third case. If we want to insert the newly created node after a given node, again what will happen, we will suppose this is the new node and we are going to add after newly created node after this, okay, after 3 we are going to add this particular node. So this is the given linked list and this is the new node, and we have to add this node after 3, after node 3 we are going to add. So what we will do, at first we will create a new node. After that we will allocate the memory to newly created node. After that we will assign the data value to new node, and after that we will enter the value of that node, after which we are going to insert this new node. It means we will add the value of node 3, okay. For the, again in order to add after this, we will declare two pointer ptr and pre-ptr in order to traverse or to reach here. Again what we will do, we will move ptr and pre-ptr in such a way that ptr will refer to the next node and pre-ptr will refer to that node after which we are going to insert the new node. Again what we will do, pre-ptr next is equal to new node and new node next is equal to ptr. So to add this, what we will do, pre-ptr next is equal to new node and new node next is equal to ptr. So after this syntax, the newly created node will be added after the node 3. Again this is the pseudocode or syntax. Pre-ptr is equal to ptr. This is basically to reach the destination node, after which we are going to insert new node, and this is the syntax, pre-ptr next is equal to new node and new node next is equal to ptr. Okay, thank you.